So this tree brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Pop.
Dr. Pepper 10, testosterone.
Because when you're playing a visual novel dating sim about birds, you need.
How do you think she got 800 vigor? Testosterone. All right, pull up Yuuya's because yes, I believe Flirty Bird gets the nod.
Okay.
And this time we will try not to die. Okay, and this time we'll keep it because we want Tosaka Hiyoko to actually survive once.
Right. Is she okay? No, she's dead. But let's give her another chance.
Sorry, Sway.
Yeah, that was a little loud. I apologize. I apologize for Ben because there is no apology for him.
None of you can see me waving my hands in dismissal.
Okay,
all right.
Start skipping through stuff.
We're going to skip through all of this because, yeah.
I guess the big difference would be when we come up to a.
And if you haven't seen any of this, you can go back to the stream thing, or we'll also be putting it up on YouTube. So.
Yeah, exactly, Mog. You speed through the stuff till we get to our choices, and then we have the first.
And you have it pulled up?
Yeah, we have the first stream we did up on YouTube already.
Jeepers.
Phoenix, what is this game? It's kind of weird.
Oh, the reason why we're playing it back is because we died.
Oh yeah, that's what he meant, right?
I think.
That's true. Yeah, Phoenix. If you're wondering what kind of game it was, you probably would have asked that earlier. So. Yeah. We died and we're trying it again.
That reminds me of a character from a anime series that was very similar to this. Actually, it was a visual novel romance game too, I think, called Uta no Prince Sama.
Yeah, there's the whole thing with.
But of course, he was like the incredibly creepy evil one. So
right. Yeah, there was I think it was an LP about Valkyria Chronicles. Well, Valkyria Chronicles 2. And the whole thing was that it took place in a military academy. So basically, you combine your war game with your high school romantic comedy tropes. And it during the course of that one, it's like one guy started posting about the otaku database culture was the term for it. Where basically it's like you have such a small audience that demands like so many similar characters and tropes and beats and stuff like that. There's like constant parallels, and it's basically they have these archetypes that they just cycle between, sometimes without even changing them. And it's like, in that one they have like this brash dummy redhead as your main character, ditzy blonde, best friend who's eventual love interest, and cool, blue-haired glasses, friend.
The Magami character, yeah.
And then, it's like, then there was a picture of some other anime that had all three of those characters. And then, of course, I think last year or the year before, Ben and I were playing Tales of Graces, which, has exactly the only difference is that the love interest has pink hair instead of blonde. Others exactly the same, played completely straight. And it's just example after example after example. And it's like, the Otome games have different character tropes and expectations and stuff like that. But they still have them,
I think the big thing is that when it comes to any kind of romance story or genre, people start looking for various archetypes that they really like and that resonate with them.
Yeah.
And if it isn't there, then they just don't connect with it.
Yeah.
So when you have something where you have choices between them, you actually want to choose or keep the options open for people to follow the one they most connect with.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why you see the same things over and over, because if you break something new, then people have to decide, do I like this or not?
Right. No, I think one of the most interesting things about Mog has just been reading the walkthrough, and there are a lot of endings. Yeah, each bird gets at least one ending, and some of them get two. Like apparently, according to the Steam thing, Shu gets two endings. It's like one of them isn't a true ending unless you do math every time.
Right.
But yeah, one of the most interesting.
Also, what should we be focusing on study-wise for Yuuya?
Apparently, it doesn't matter, but they recommend pick math every time because that has more event unlocks with the infirmary.
Gotcha. Why would he be in the infirmary?
I don't know, but that's where he is.
Really? Scroll up. make sure.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Join infirmary staff and first aid tents and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I guess it's because he is athletic.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like if you look at collections of romance novels, if you could sort them like by the decade and stuff like that, you could find that there's like a constant thing that always appears depending on them. Like our...
then should we choose track team?
Infirmary.
Infirmary.
Yeah, on 411. And it's like, for example, my our grandpa's wife has had this. I have six or seven. It's like Civil War romance novels.
Infirmary is not a choice.
The infirmary staff, it says.
There is no infirmary staff.
I guess it'd be...
Find a different walkthrough.
Yeah, okay.
Because infirmary staff is very obviously not right. Maths, if we go for flirty. And by the way, Mog, I just have to say that that is one thing that, maybe it is me being racist American or whatever, but I've always found the British English for maths to be oddly hilarious for me. Like, there was actually a British a TV show that was talking about various different mental disorders, and one of them was apparently one where you cannot visualize or add numbers together in anything other than just 1, 2, 3 at a time. And one of the questions I was asked is, how do you know how you have this instead of just being rubbish at maths?
So all it says is infirmary.
For right now, Mog, what is the choice we should go with for 411? Because the two things that Wayne looked up both say join the infirmary staff, but there is no infirmary staff.
Yeah, the only thing I think of is track team, but
there is more than one form of maths. This is true.
I should just go with track team for now.
Well, I'll wait for Mog to either confirm or deny.
Okay, this one says track team.
Track team, okay. That isn't the infirmary.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
Which is even my final form of maths.
And then math all day, every day. Nanaki dozed off as usual. Classes are all good anyway.
Exactly, Mog, all infirmary. Yeah, the one of them I saw in this like cheat code thing said to say to pick track at 411. So
I guess it would make sense that if you're on track, you're going to have more infirmary encounters.
Right. But anyway, it's like, so she just had this like huge collection of
sprint barely lasts long enough to get started. How dull. Okay, so that doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, I guess if they're related to him, they don't. What's weird is if this one says on 415, there's the option to leave it alone, which.
Are you? Go back up.
No, that's Yuuya.
No, all the way up. What game is this for? Hundred boyfriends. Huh.
It's like, yeah, that's that ending. It's the same game. It's like they're just going off a different translation, maybe, or something.
Yeah, maybe. But there wasn't a choice at 415, I don't think.
Well, that was one you just did to the race, which race to take.
Huh.
Which obviously isn't even one of those.
But that's the thing. It's like it could not possibly have been either. So. Well, it says. Could you go back to that the Code Center one, the one that was actually correct? And
I'll try.
So yeah, this one is probably talk to Kazuaki. I haven't said anything yet. And so I took a nap with Mr. Naki. Yeah, I guess you have to...
they're just going to list... so I would cross-reference this one to find out what the name of the achievement is, because they're going for it. Okay, so it's Yuuya. Well, that was an obvious one.
Yeah.
Twice.
More math!
There it is. Join the infirmary staff. They can leave it alone.
And neither of those are right. Oh well, let's...
Release of the object to talk to Kazuaki.
Yes.
Option 421. Okay.
So maybe the first two are wrong, but we'll keep going from there.
Right.
And then the first 8 times.
Yeah.
Mog's cat is now watching this with moderate interest. I wonder why.
Of course, we're joking about like Mog's eating birds and stuff like that. But it's, yeah, there was this, I was reading about problems with, Australia and invasive species and stuff like that. And yeah, apparently they had this huge problem with the feral cats because they imported them to control some, like, I think mice was the big problem.
Yeah, basically they had gotten rats in Australia, and they just completely overran everything.
Right. So yeah, they imported a bunch of cats, which then proceeded to multiply and become feral, and then they ended up like killing like some species of native flightless birds because of course. Okay, the fact that he's evil, but also kind of worried about getting too tan or something is pretty funny. Exactly. So you would think, with how dangerous Australia's native animals are, that it wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, it's always pedestrian stuff like rats, cats, and like you mentioned, rabbits.
I think it's a thing where Australia. They had a bit of a Geneva Convention going on. Like all the dangerous ones went after each other, and the rest of them just kind of survived. Now that there are so many invasive species, now it's just blood bath over there, and now just the dangerous ones are left.
Right. Because the thing you have to keep in mind too is it's a fairly big continent with very few people, proportionately.
Right.
So yeah, whenever like humans introduce certain things, it's going to be disproportionately a problem.
Yay!
Oh, very cool. Because we are talking about the country that actually declared war on a certain type of wildlife. And if you familiar with the Great Emu War? No, seriously. It's one of my favorite Wikipedia articles because it actually has
what do we do here? I'm guessing infirmary.
See, this is 622.
Yeah.
I think it's a little rude.
I bet it is!
The next option for infirmary...
622 says go to the store. Yeah. And then I think that's a little rude is the next one. Okay. So store.
Oh, there were two choices there.
Yeah.
That's no problem. Yeah.
The army lost.
Yep.
To be fair, I'm sure that the army was fighting with a little bit of a handicap.
Right. So. Yeah, so my favorite thing, so they put like they label the belligerents, and it's like a belligerents emus.
Darn right.
I'm waiting for the nest egg upon
That seems a little hasty.
So are they going with the fact that there are these...
Oh my.
Flirty bird indeed.
But we're not. I think that's a little rude.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't get 5 to the face
But I
more
was going to
often.
say, usually they slap him and storm off.
I'll carry this warning in my pigeon heart forever. Adieu.
The thing this game makes you say.
Alright, more maths.
Yep. So you can no longer be rubbish at them. I always find myself wondering. I had when it was my freshman year in high school, and we had, of course, lunchtime and everything. And the class right after that one was math, and they had the teacher basically, if you can imagine it, the teacher there had already kind of a slow, kind of relaxing voice as it was. And the first couple months of the year, she was pregnant, leave and everything came back.
I bet that this actually tells you who you have the best relationship points with.
I bet so, yeah.
Oh, you were saying?
And yeah, so she came back, of course, with full-on mom voice, and it's like, yeah, it was nap time. It's like you just come back after eating and somebody just talking really quietly,
Shadows and no thank you next. Which is weird because this one says artist and no thank you.
Yeah, this was his artist.
Well, I will go with what Mog. I'll go with what the guide says. Sorry, Mog, you got us killed last time.
I think he probably would go for artist, being...
I'm guessing it actually doesn't matter too much because both of them had kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It was no thanks.
Yep, no thank you. There's only room for one bird. Key-mania. Oh, is that like Beat Mania?
Probably.
Yeah.
Stop by the arcade.
So speaking of Beat Mania, Mog, if you haven't seen it yet, I just put up the Crypt of the Necrodancer stream Ben did the other night, on YouTube. And I don't know if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to take a look. I don't know if you'd like it or not, but it's different,
I still feel a little embarrassed for
the second half. Yeah.
Oh well, I'll just have to shape up next time. Tosaka! Yay!
I had a feeling this would be like
success. Okay, must be. But because it's you reading it, I'm instantly more skeptical. But I'm guessing that it would be the same thing either way.
Yeah, that probably doesn't matter. Yeah.
I wonder why it.
I'm still trying to figure out what the whole nonsense about joining the infirmary staff came from, though.
But I'm more curious about why that mattered, because we didn't get points with Kazuaki, but we didn't get it with anyone else either.
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway, what is 720, if anything?
720 is that's all. That's all, folks.
And yeah, there was an event at 713 that didn't apply. So this one is also wrong.
They're all wrong.
Yeah. There is no with Yuuya option. So we're going to die because the guide is leading us. I mean, this is the equivalent of Oregon Trail, when you hire an Indian guide for 5 sets of clothing and he still wrecks your boat. Welp. No, we were not given a 713 choice, and the 720 choice is also not what the guide says. Okay, what does Yuuya say? Yeah, choose any options, no thank you.
It's a little rude. Choose any one of the options, no thank you.
Yeah, and that's right, I was with Yuuya. But that isn't an option we got.
I guess this one doesn't matter either. Cool. Because they don't sort them by the day, they just sort them by the
Wait a
number of
minute.
choices.
Oh no, I bet I know what was wrong. That first option, go home alone, I think that's actually if you don't choose any of the extracurriculars.
Can you do that?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't think you could.
No, we couldn't.
No, you couldn't, yeah.
Because it was either
you only have 3 choices.
Yeah,
You had to pick one.
Join in.
This is the worst. I don't...
And for some games, I can understand an FAQ being wonky or whatnot.
Right.
But this is a visual novel. It is actually impossible for you to not check your FAQ. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Clearly, we need some kind of randomly generated visual novel thing where only certain options pop up, and you just happen, and they each give you different amounts of points. And
well, yeah, it's possible that this one doesn't matter, but
then you think they wouldn't mention it instead of having an entry for the day that isn't there.
And then for, an option that doesn't actually apply.
Oh dear.
What?
Otome Game Meow.
Oroge. Otoge?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Otoge
Otome
Meow.
Game. Yeah. Yeah, the ge suffix is pretty common in Japanese slang nowadays, especially in game. Yeah, I say game.
Game?
Game. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Join the infirmary staff is unlocked once you've completed any other route that doesn't require you to join the infirmary.
Gah.
So you
we may be dying
able
again
to get him, because you have to pick one of the. I guess you have to pick one of your classmates first, and then.
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Get a job or forget it isn't on there, so forget it.
Okay, forget it. It is.
Well, see, why is this the first one to mention? You have to like clear another route first. Because seriously, you think that'd be important,
Okay, and this one does not allow me to choose him. No, Saki is racist bird.
Yeah, Saka, and we don't have Sakazaki as an option.
It's Yuuya,
Yep.
if they say anything.
So we can't actually win this time.
Okay, so I am calling an executive cancel on this one. So Lorax was directing us right. The ladies directed us wrong. Lorax, you can't see me like bowing in, going in
Rose
prostration
for
begging your forgiveness. We'll go with childhood friend.
Yes.
Pull up the guide, Monsignor. Okay, 4th time's a charm.
Is this what we were reduced to, following walkthroughs to get through?
Yes, actually! I'm following really bad walkthroughs on top of that. Okay. Yeah, pull up Ryouta, and we will do this.
Okay, join any club.
Boy, is my face red. That said, this is, I've played a lot of visual novel games. Not that it's something I usually admit, but whatever. I've played a lot. This is the first time I've ever encountered guides that have led me so far wrong, and that I've actually died and been unable to get any ending.
Yeah, like a lot of games will at least like you stumble through and maybe you'll hook up with somebody you don't want to.
Right, like there's one that I played where basically there are 3 Ayakashi that you can go with. And one of them, is like the cool aloof one, and it's really hard to get points with them. And then there's another one who basically is a demon that actually, if you just answer things fairly normally, he actually goes for you.
Right.
So I started going for the one, and then ended up getting almost nothing with him, and a lot with the other one. It's like, okay, I'm going with the fire demon. Let's go.
Right. Like there was...
We could go with Racist Bird, but I agree with Lorax. He has had his chance.
Yeah, and Mog's first choice was Friend Bird then, so that's who we're going for. Yep. Yeah, Ryouta and 3-legged race, yep. But yeah, I was like I mentioned earlier, I read the Sheep on Something Awful doing his LPs of the Tokimeki Memorial Games. And it's like there's apparently in 2, there is like one of the most popular characters is also the first one you meet, and she's like your best friend, and then and she's really interested in you, but of course you get the choice to date whoever you want. So a lot of guys were like, you start it up, you play through the game, it's like Oh, Hikari wants to hang out with me. ... Okay, Hikari, you're out again.
Yeah, dying is pretty rare in a visual novel game. Generally, the worst that you get is that you wind up as an old maid. Yeah, actually getting murdered by ninja birds. That's a new one on me.
Yeah, because what a lot of them will do is have this kind of backup route where if you don't hook up with the person you want, there's some failures of grinding the right stats or whatever else, they'll still have an ending. Whereas in this one, the default ending is you die and have to try again. But granted, the game is short, so you know it's not so bad.
Also, if it is all right with everyone, I'm going to save right at this point, so we don't have to go through the intro again.
Fair enough.
Then eventually, depending on how I feel about it now that I kind of know how things are going, I may or may not go for other endings. And if so, I wouldn't mind skipping this scene.
That's very true, yeah. Because the introduction things is already up on YouTube. Because we did all of it in that first stream.
I agree with Lorax. Where's the option to date the ninja birds? Can love bloom on a battlefield?
Lorax, I think that's kind of the equivalent of using being a woman with Black Widow and seducing Benny in New Vegas. It's like, he shot me in the head, but that really turned me on. It's like,
You tried to kill me, but I don't really hold it against you.
Whereas a Gundam wing is any indication,
I'll destroy you.
You talk about a franchise that just exploded with women, Gundam wing. Oh my god.
Yeah. I do love how, the hilarious irony for me is that all of the 5 main guys had a designated love interest of some sort, and nobody ever pays any attention to it. And so he says that's one of the best parts of New Vegas. I love how he actually sounds kind of freaked out about it. Yeah. Understandably so.
He still goes for it, though, because men are the same everywhere. Okay.
This is where I save, so I never have to do that ever again. Okay.
Any club.
Library is the one we haven't done yet.
True.
Perhaps in the DLC.
What DLC?
Dating the Ninja Birds.
Oh!
Okay, so what do we need to do for Ryouta? Stat-wise.
I don't think that matters either. Doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make a difference. Well, in that case, let's just go full-on vigor.
Yeah, because we never do.
Right.
So. The healthiest of all hunter-gatherers. Learn to fly too.
Because I know that we will need to increase math and music for some of the others.
Right.
So we might as well go with, if it doesn't matter, might as well go with one we haven't done yet.
True. Had not enough books.
At least the view is nice. Fandom is crazy.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that is. I don't think it's around on the internet anymore, but one of the first writing projects I did was fan fiction for Final Fantasy Tactics. So I have kind of a... Oh my gosh, yeah, Mog said, do you ever see the nonsense started up around Avatar The Last Airbender? Good golly,
Zutara!
Yeah. It was freaking everywhere.
One of my friends was a Zutaran, and I got so tired of her telling me over and over and over again. Oh my god!
I think one reason why the third season of Avatar was as bad as it was, and it was still okay, for like a kid's show and everything.
Touche.
The one reason I was probably my least favorite of the 3. And I think the big reason why was just them going, over just taking so much effort to exploding fan theories and fan obsessions and stuff like that. Because they pretty much systematically wiped out all of them.
Okay, we're definitely going for Ryouta.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've already seen that as a calorie meat.
Yes.
Yay, Ryouta.
And I think that, and far be it for me to speculate and be cynical about it, but I can't help thinking with the whole, introducing...
Making a Dark Souls dating sim.
Ooh.
It does remind me of that one comic where the female...
You didn't, Mog. I'm kind of disappointed.
but the female artist of it actually, kind of had the hots for Lautrec.
Right. Yeah, it's around. It's on not Tumblr, but one of those sites that kind of like Imgur, I think, has a gallery of translated. And yeah, it was this a female artist who got into Dark Souls, and she was having a lot of fun with it.
And then she stopped, and it made me sad.
Yeah. It's like if she gets past Blighttown, it's like, this game's really hard. I'm just gonna like do a couple sketches and that's it. Speaking of Mog and Dark Souls and everything, I took a quick look at the Prepare to Die edition and Windows 10 and stuff like that. And apparently not too many people have been having problems with it. So you may want to maybe try to see what the exact error is and try to work on that. Or of course since you did gift us a game, maybe I could just send you a PS3 copy or something. That's true. Yeah, the last fight between Zuko and Azula was pretty good.
We have brought honor to our past, to our class.
The Aang Firelord fight. You mean the one where like the guy starts flying around with orbiting like Earth around him to steer him? Yeah, oh, so bad. Next time on Avatar Ball Z.
Okay. Cafeteria.
Yeah.
That's right, and we need to help him out against the Kosa.
Hungry birds. Oh yeah. Leave it to me. We want to stop skipping at this part.
We've already seen it.
Oh, for helping him out?
Yep.
Okay.
Remember Rage Voltage?
Well, no, I've seen this one, but I don't know if we saw this option.
Yeah, we have. In fact, I went with this one.
Oh,
Hunter-Gatherer
Blood Boils, all right.
Remember, R! Can you guys see how that went?
Yeah. Oh, Twitch cut out after...
Lived for a few moments.
Yeah.
Aggravating.
Oh. What was what thing I said before that? My memory is so bad. But no, we'll look for fun for a few moments. Yeah, I was looking up things with the problems with Dark Souls 1 and Windows 10. And I didn't find a whole lot. Apparently, a lot of people were getting it to work. So you might try just Googling for the specific problem you were having and seeing if there's like something out there. Because apparently it's not. Apparently, some people are getting it to work.
Tanabata. What do we do for Tanabata?
Oh, you did get it working. Awesome. Okay.
Conquer the world by force.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Aw. And he's the only one we have any points with. Nice. Conquer the world by force. Vex the nerds! Says the one who gifted Crypt of the Necrodancer.
What?
Dun dun!
Well, no, remember, Crypt isn't nerds, that's hipster.
Oh, no.
You were playing a music game.
True. And no thank you.
Shut down the teacher at every opportunity.
Indeed. Crypt of Pain. It was kind of a Crypt of Pain. Okay, we do more gym.
Uh-huh. Min-maxing.
Vitality is over 900. Wiggling about on the surface of water and messing other pores or backwards. Aw.
That was kind of cute.
He'll do his best.
Yellow job. Yep. Go to the doctor and give the job. Oh yeah, I remember giving the job to Ryouta. That was at yeah.
Oh, so the different events that you have are actually based on what you've done.
Right.
Interesting.
I could see why the game is a little more popular than I first thought it would be, because apparently.
Because unlike a lot of visual novels, the paths are actually very remarkably different.
Right. Too much rice at that wedding. Uh-oh.
Lee?
The fact that the editing and typesetting is usually so good in these games, because they're pure dialogue boxes. Whenever the errors do come up, they kind of stick out. Have any of you ever seen those things for? It's like they have a like, you decipher what the sentence is, and it's like almost everything is misspelled, but like the first and last letters are right. You know, so your mind still fills it in anyway. It's really interesting how that works.
Wouldn't trust anything that doctor prescribed.
That doctor.
Foo, foo, foo.
Remember in Persona 3 how if you'd be like sick and you only go talk to the doctor if you were sick, and he'd give you this strange concoction that it didn't actually heal you, but it raised your courage.
Oh yeah,
that's how that worked, right?
Yeah. Go yell at that doctor.
All right, fat bird, you and me.
He's so chuffed.
Shall I prepare a sedative?
Mr. Kawara. Doing things to people is my job, after all.
No, that's Mengele's job. Your job is to heal people.
Wow.
Okay, that's pretty great. No, thanks, game. I think I figured that.
He did something for Ryouta, didn't he?
Oh yeah. I'm starting to think of, did we fall behind? But of course, we haven't actually put any points at all in wisdom this time.
But we are the healthiest hunter-gatherer ever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that was how they did the breakpoint in the ending, it would be pretty funny if you pumped up vitality and everything, if the Hawks tried to kill you and they couldn't do it. That's kind of a dumb question. Interesting. So this bird's kind of edgy. I've only recently started seeing the term edgelord come about.
Edgelord?
Yeah, basically somebody who is like, the world is meaningless, and they like lecturing people on how dark and dire things are and everything.
I'm going to go with Orihato.
It doesn't matter. So.
Yeah. My little Nico bar can't be this cute. Incredibly tsundere Nico bar with the complex, our faceless male protagonist brother. And he sounds extremely uninterested. Kiri Nico is cute.
There's something like a little too meta about like the protagonist of a visual novel loving visual novels.
Right.
Here we go. We get to meet with Scooter Bird.
Right.
I hope something else comes up of her involvement in the plot and everything.
I hope so too.
Yeah, she's kind of amusing, and then.
Of course, I actually find it kind of amusing that I actually saw another visual novel type game that was based on Greek mythology. And the thing that really shocked me was that one of the romance options is actually Medusa. So you had a lot of comments that are like, yes, finally I get to have a lesbian thing in my Otome game.
You guys be surprised how... light novels on visual novel. Right, yeah. Yeah, light novels are basically... I wasn't aware there was a difference. Scooter Bird has plot, would have to be 4 endings, okay? But Ben's right. I remember reading about these discussions on the Fire Emblem games, and it's like, of the new ones coming out, which one is like, which one can you hook up with a girl with? And apparently there actually is one now.
Get a job.
So no way. Why don't you get a job?
Give job to Ryouta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be the next step. Oh yeah, that guy. Right. That is a cool picture of. I wonder what kind of bird that is.
Parakeet.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. Yeah, yeah.
A true gentle bird. Without a doubt. Mature attractiveness. Unfortunately, I don't think you can romance the guy. Of course, he's probably way too old for this character. But
I always kind of imagine nowadays with what was his name, Jameson Price as the bartender in Catherine, as like good example of that kind of archetype that you can't really do it much better.
She is a vitality girl. A lot more than you would expect.
Right. Urushiharas. Well, I kind of wonder what that translates to.
I'm sure there's some wordplay joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, let's see. The gentlemanly parakeet. It appears in the Summerside story, only the full version of Hotful Boyfriend, as well as the first story of Holiday Star. He's not dateable.
Ryouta! Hyoko!
Wow. Yeah, they have a note on here. The parakeet whose picture is used for the character is actually female. Likely unintentional. It could suggest this is a transgender man. Like, that's a bit of a reach.
Actually, that isn't as much of a reach as one might think. Because in Japan, the cross-dressing, flamboyant sort is actually fairly common.
Right.
Especially in things like this.
Fair enough.
But I do think that it seems far less likely, especially since he's being referred to as a gentleman.
Right.
But yes, we give the job to Ryouta. Urushihara.
I'm kind of... So I was hoping there'd be like an explanation of where the reference is, but not here at least. Right. A real gentle bird.
He deserves to be treated nicely. He'll be treated very nicely by the time we're done. So. And I'm glad I missed you too, Kanzabura. Yeah, I will admit that, with the lack of subtlety, if they had deliberately tried to make Urushihara, one of the cross-dressing ones, they would have been a lot more obvious about it.
Right.
And this seems obvious.
Yep. And White Ryouta.
Yep.
I wonder if anybody ever does that to try to... Yeah, this is the one that got the copyright claim on it, on YouTube. Which is a pretty fun little track.
It's a deal.
Yeah, I wonder if any of them ever have, just in the interest of mixing things up, made it so that if you were going after somebody, you occasionally had to choose events with somebody else, maybe because they're friends or
family members or things like that. Yeah.
It's like in the Tokimeki games, they do it by having this bomb system. Or once you meet somebody, if you don't spend enough time with them, they get mad at you.
Abode love to ask for you.
Hope we don't get assassinated.
And we say nope to Kazuaki. The spoils of war lay my bloody sword at the feet of my great king and sell my conquests all the way from here to distant Macedonia. Well, we did say conquer the world by force.
Okay, I think next time we're gonna have to call her like Alexandra or something.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna be we'll have to look for it and see which one would call concrete world.
Right? Yeah. That's. See, I was trying to say that's pretty great, but I don't know. It's a little too out of nowhere, I think.
Yeah.
Then again, if it actually does hinge on which goal you picked and it did require that one, that would be so bad. That would be cool.
Second turn.
Second turn.
You keep saying that. That isn't what we're saying. Student ID.
So remember in one of the, I don't remember which game it was, but it's one of those where you kind of like you base your answer on like the last letter of the
How
previous one.
How do birds play volleyball?
Very carefully.
Of course, on Smash! Yes.
And with one of them, there was an I ended up going with Gibbix, and nobody got that one. I know some birds. It's one of those.
And indulgent idleness and debauchery.
It's not one of those kinds of games.
And speaking of... Can't.
So you get this far in the route, it's like, nope.
The most elegant of seasons. The most elegant of birds.
Oh, what happened to Mr. Parakeet? Yeah, come on.
Aww.
That ended up being a nice sentence. So I was expecting it to end with, yeah, thanks for nothing.
Right. And monkey tree climbing jeans. Aww. They are besties. I still can't get over that.
Of course, you have to have that, right? The fact they actually changed the icon for it was
Right.
pretty.
Only maids now. But apparently that actually becomes a bit of a running joke that he's frequently forced to cross-dress for his jobs.
Right.
Whee! He's a cute girl handing out flyers. Yep. Is that what you always wear?
So wait a minute. Okay, she says, "Who's the cute girl handing out flyers?"
Right.
That implies she sees, him in his like human form with the maid outfit. Is it only when she gets close?
Actually, I think the implication is she saw a bird wearing a maid outfit and said, "Oh, it has to be a girl."
Okay.
And then she gets forced. Wait a minute, Ryouta, that's not a girl. Because you can't exactly tell, at a distance which gender a bird is, especially a dove.
Ah. Oh, well, fair enough.
It's just a transvestite cafe. Oh, that's all it is. I'm not misunderstanding at all.
All right, everybody, 3, 2, 1. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I think there is. This is like child exploitation going on.
Oh, okay, yeah. He doesn't actually want to.
Right. I think she's just so used to birds, yeah.
That's true, yeah, especially if she is like the only human,
But yeah, I mean, imagine what would happen, in America if you had a creepy proprietor grabbing high school boys and saying, "Hey, dress up in a dress for me and hand out flyers."
It's called bona fide occupational requirements. All you have to do is call it like
My work is coolie.
All you have to do is call it like the Socrates Boy Bar or something.
I'll tip you bigly. Yeah, that's true. It would really suck to say be a peacock and transgender.
Right. Yeah, I have. There's a lot of times, like Ben and I discuss different ideas for different, races and cultures in RPGs, and of course they do that with other people too. And there was one of them about, basing something on, because there aren't a whole lot of things in fantasy games based on birds. You have like the Arakakra, which pretty much existed to show up first in a monster manual.
A queasy cat. Looks like Bird Simulator 2K16 is going great.
Well,
Darn right it is.
We've died twice, quit once, and now
Because we were going to die.
Yeah, and now we're good. Now we're good to go. So yes, we're doing good now. So now we have an angry Mog and a queasy cat. We need to come up with some kind of
cat medicine.
Yeah.
Of course. What is it?
But yeah, they're talking about like having, bird-themed things, and it was like,
Uh-oh, sad music.
Uh-oh. All right, everybody, serious bird talk time.
Yeah, queasy cat. Ninja birds will kill you if you don't get enough relationship points.
Yeah, if you have not maxed out if not maxed out or come close to, hooking up with a bird by the middle of the second term, the start of, yeah.
And yes, if you haven't done so, on our profile there is a link to YouTube. You can see the first Hatoful boyfriend thing where we died.
Right.
And see exactly what it looks like.
And see, the dialogue leading up to it talks about how, like she has not formed like
enough attachments to any bird.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we thought you had to be nice to all of them and then zero in on one. Turns out no, you have to.
You have to focus on one.
Right. So we happen to have picked the one guy whose mom was dying because we're great at this. The game was obviously way ahead of its time. But yeah, and then we were talking about the bird themed.
What?
Getting better.
But we're not. We're stupid. we have a wisdom of 1.
Right. But yeah, they mentioned like having like a peacock themed race, or it worked like they actually do, or basically the men are just obsessed with their image and attracting mates, and the women actually go out and fight and do everything useful. And then they pointed out it's like if you actually look at art from antiquity about male like the Spartans and the jaguar warriors and stuff like that, it's like yeah in historical male things that had a culture wide war society were obsessed with preening and image and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that actually wouldn't be unrealistic at all. Right. They were kind of like that one time in the
Anywhere is fine with you.
Aw. Like the Alexi ad from what's her name from Byzantium? I forgot what. Actually, takes a break in her history to rave about this North King's hair.
Well, I think that means that we've managed to survive the Hawk Party.
Yeah, it's normally when you die, so
yeah. Makes the wilderness dangerous. Fiddlesticks. Yep, it wasn't very Christmassy, Lorax.
Yeah. Maybe Christmas in the Pidgey Nation is a bit different. Well, it's all Happy New Year.
The deep theological question: did Jesus die for a bird's sins? And how do they feel about the 2 pigeons being sacrificed?
No, we don't have a Steam alert, so we didn't get on to then about not watching us.
I think we'll probably have to block that out when it's time. Hold on, everybody. Let me turn off Steam alerts.
Yeah, that's probably the only one we're gonna get.
You say that, but
that's fine.
Okay. Let's see. It would be. Where would it be? Settings.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head. We can do it later. It's probably not going to.
Well, again, I don't like having people's things pop up in the middle of the stream, both for my sake and for theirs. And it won't take too long once I figure out how to do it. So.
Okay. Yeah, it'd probably be in the settings and interface. I would guess something like that.
That's what I would guess too. Just trying to figure it out. I'm almost tempted to put up the technical difficulties thing, but it isn't like that. So here we are.
Okay. That's true. I probably want her to turn off the play a sound thing too. Some of like sometimes when Mog and I are we're doing recordings, like there's stuff on her like the stream, you know, the little sounds, you know.
Right. And yes, Ink Big, it is the pigeon simulator. Except that we're not a pigeon.
That's true. Yeah, it is a pigeon dating sim.
It is a bird dating. You don't just go with pigeons.
That's true. Yeah.
In this case, we're going with the dove.
The dove, right? Oh, there's a third term.
Yeah. A splendid and greatest academy of the pigeon, by the pigeon, and for the pigeon.
And one human.
And one human.
There are weird games.
Tomorrow's Legumentides?
Huh.
I think I'll buy some beans. Huh. Now I'm curious about... Disgraceful!
I've never gotten the...
Well, legume is technically the right word.
No. Oh, that part was right. I'm just like... You know, I always thought that the iconic thing for people giving birds was like bird seed and, you know, seeds and stuff like that, not beans. What if that's a Japanese thing? You know, like you want to make sure your bird's get enough protein.
Okay. Mog says get calm.
Calm the beans.
You mean calm corn?
Cool beans.
Bitter black beans. Country millet. Swollen hemp.
Millet.
That's definitely going to be for San, I would bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing calm corn.
I think they're in the order of the birds.
Oh, they could be.
Yeah. See, Ryouta is like always on top.
Right. Time to give the beans to that special some birdie.
At least you go straight to making sure you give the right gift to the right bird.
Calm corn for Legumentides.
And it took place on the 2nd, so I guess it kind of combined Valentine's with Groundhog Day. Aww. Yeah, it is kind of neat when you have people kind of in these games, you know, come right out and say that they like somebody or something, because
it's not like this doesn't mean I like you or anything.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have any Sundara birds. Well, no, we do. Racist bird was a little bit.
He's a little bit, yeah. He keeps saying house. I don't think the word means what he thinks it means.
Uh-oh. A little bird coat.
Little bird coat.
Oh.
Aw. Mom's dead.
I think that'd be irresponsible. Aw.
Aw. Isn't that cute? Yeah, the times they remember when when the birds are actually birds is kind of yeah. And normally these kind of games play it as you of course being the human and try to hook up with something immortal or someone immortal, like, you know, dragons or elves or something like that,
or demons,
right? Yeah, in absolute terms or in bird terms? I mean...
Aww. Like Flirty's comment, they reached sexual maturity in 1 year. Yep.
Does that make her a pedophile?
reminds me of what we were talking about earlier. For a girl can be married and consummated as soon as she hits puberty.
In Pakistan. In much more depressing news, like Pakistan's parliament had a vote on like trying to raise her age of consent to establish adulthood, and like the Council on Islamic Instruction, I think it was, said no, it's not compliant with Sharia. Women should be married off as soon as they hit puberty. It's like nice.
Yeah, parrots and corvids really should be running the world with this.
Yeah, I made the reference earlier. Yeah, it's like, do we still have the same? If all the birds progressed more or less evenly, you think the corvids at the top is already smart and live longer.
So was that really the true ending for him?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Yep. You're getting your Chivo pretty soon.
By the pigeon and for the pigeon. Yeah, as dating sim things go, that was really depressing.
Yeah. You have happiness for a season, literally a season.
Yeah. Oh, that's just holy cow! And then he dies.
Oh dear.
Would Birds of Paradise be the models? Yeah, I could actually see that. So that was your light, fluffy otome game. He's a one-ending bird. Yeah, he's got the same ending as everyone else, come to find out. Sheesh.
Yeah, so I think kind of sums it up. OMG, depressing.
Lorax chose depressing. Now I'm imagining Lorax just sitting there just as Keikaku.